This year has been a time for reflection, a time to sit down and look at how far I've come and how much farther I can go. This winter, I decided to take a week-long vacation in Clemson for my third adventure up there. My goal? Catch as many rail movements on video as I possibly could. Considering this is part one, I'm sure you can see that I caught far more than I expected. Before I even left the city, however, I spent the chilly Friday weather just east of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, watching various flights depart to faraway lands. As for trains, we'll start with the obvious, Amtrak's Southern Crescent train number 20, on which I rode in order to reach my vacation spot. With just 2 hours and 11 minutes of riding time, I got in quite a few clips, as well as a quick nap. I arrived in Clemson shortly before 2 in the morning, caught the northbound Crescent departing, and headed to a friend's house where I'd spend most of the week. Saturday morning was by far the most fruitful day. I was awoken by Norfolk Southern Priority Intermodal 27A screaming down the grade just 50 feet east of the pillow I'd laid my head on. Once I gathered myself enough to almost make a coherent sentence, I stepped outside to see Norfolk Southern Intermodal 283 making their way south through Central. This was admittedly a short clip, as the frigid air gave me immediate regrets, but I caught this train on video, so this one counts as number 2. Just a few minutes before I was all set to start the day, our third catch came thundering up the grade. Oh yeah, it's 28R. It's got auto racks on the rear. Look at that lean on these auto racks, man. Look at that lean. And a Conrail quality auto rack to finish it out. Nice. 28R, clear central. It's only 3 units on them, huh? I got everything together and walked out the door, only to realize we'd already entered our first lull of the day. So I headed right back inside. The Norfolk and Western Roanoke Division Model Railroading Club has been very gracious in letting me operate the various symbols across their impressive layout. Almost every switch on the layout is controlled via three control panels in the center of the room, as well as some signals being operational and, at one point, even a turntable. Some friends were in town, which gave me the opportunity to run some Canadian Pacific motive power across the Roanoke scenery.
Yeah, he needs that one more thing. Really helpful thing for that. Okay. No, this is my normal square. Oh, I know, I got you. I'll bring the chains tomorrow, don't worry. Yeah, I hang them out really slow shit. That was the break.
It would be another 2 hours before Norfolk Southern Manifest 153-13 made its way south, bound for Birmingham, Alabama. The solo ET-44AC leading was a surprise, and initially threw me for a loop as to what symbol this train was running under. Upon seeing notable cargo like Tokai carbon hoppers and long cuts of assorted 4-bay center flow hoppers, I recognized this as 153's consist. All right, guys, we are out here for our first official catch of the day and a first official catch of the entire trip. Not sure who this southbound is, actually. But you know us, when has that ever stopped us from getting it? So let's see who this is, shall we?
All right, slight move, just real quick, so we can get some more surface area here. Ah! All right, commit. Here we go. Now I know the signal he would have rolled through would be an intermediate, and he hasn't gone far enough through it. I mean, I hadn't heard him blow any of the crossings down there, so I'm assuming he's gonna stop before him, which, if he stops before those crossings, depending on how far the train he's meeting is, I think I'm gonna go down and get him. There's the slack coming out. By the way, I don't know if you all saw that. That CSX boxcar was reporting marked KCS, and the CSX portion was patched out.
As 153 started to apply more and more brakes, it dawned on me that there was a meet getting staged in downtown Central. So, as soon as 153 came to a complete stop, I ended the recording and started the mile-long walk to downtown.
Alright, I see the DPU. The DPU is right over there. It's just beyond that curve down there. The thing is, he's rolling slow enough to make me think he's gonna stop, but the signal he would have stopped at should have been this one right here behind us. So it's like he's going slow enough to stop, but then I'm wondering how far down he's gonna stop. Because if he stops before the crossings down here, like I said, we're gonna go down and get him. But it seems like he should have been blowing for him by now. I mean, there's been a pretty decent amount of cars. Is he running one on front and one on the rear? Nope, he's running one up front and one in the middle. Interesting. They got a CSX style going on here. Yeah, he's stopping. I think I'm gonna go down and get him. All right, there's the DPU we were talking about. Come on, come to a stop so I can jump down there and get you again. We got 154 coming up running 2x1. Yeah, see, now it looks like he's picking up speed again. I mean, I definitely hear brakes, but I don't see the effects of brakes. All right, I'm hearing him now. Come on, dude, come to a stop. Stop moving. Oh, look at all those reefers coming up. Come on, dude. Right here. Right here. Cut it right here. Come on. Come on. And slow enough to call it.
I was fortunate enough to make it to Central as the northbound blew their horn through Malden Road crossing, just down the road near CP Roland. I knew I had a few minutes to set up since northbound traffic climbs a series of tough grades through this area, and with the exception of short trains and priority stacks, most trains barely hit 30 miles per hour through town. Our fifth catch turned out to be counterpart symbol 154 as they made their way north to Linwood, North Carolina. Fellow rail enthusiast Rail King Nias sent an update moments earlier about this train, stating that it had 2 GE motors on the head end and an EMD pushing from the rear of the train. Even with the knowledge ahead of time, I was still in for a treat as the GE motors turned out to be sister units, AC44 C6M Duo 4171 and 4172.
Sister units 4171 and 4172. Let's go. I'm gonna move you guys down some. Or actually, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit better lighting here. All right, this is gonna be a weird angle, but just
As the manifests pushed onward up the grade, the games were underway. Manifests are SD card assassins, especially 153 and 154, because they're often transporting a whole smorgasbord of photogenic rolling stock and beautiful graffiti. Steel coil cars and gondolas that are over 30, sometimes 50 years old, rusty tank cars, reefers, and even freight cars carrying the logos of railroads long gone.
right, 153 is starting to move behind him.
Thankfully, this iteration of 154 wasn't stuffed to the brim with goodies, although their counterpart certainly was. A lone ST-70 Ace number 1124 served as the rear DPU, and as it rolled out of sight, 153 started rolling south. I was glad to have made it to downtown Central in time to see them depart, since the lighting was far more favorable here.
Now we get to shoot all the other cars that we just saw, but from the other side. Better lighting. Win-win situation right here. That's what I call this, folks. Win-win situation. Man, 153 is a big train. That DPU is a mid DPU. Good grief.
Our final catch under the sun would be Norfolk Southern Intermodal 282, making their way from Atlanta, Georgia to Charlotte, North Carolina. The signals gave no indication when this struggling stack train crawled up to the first crossing here in Central. It wasn't long before they started back up again, slowly climbing the steep grades. Forgot to mention, they did also have a friendly crew. GG's in the chat. As more and more rail fans started to show up for the N&W Roanoke Division Model Railroading Club dinner, I think I got all those right, we decided to jump back into the layout and keep running trains while we waited for the rest of them to show up. You'll notice here we have an Amtrak train, which is actually being borrowed from the museum. Someone who works at the local museum wanted it run for a few tests, and we decided to put it up on the ceiling, and last I heard, it's still running around up there. You'll notice the CP train from earlier that I was controlling there. 3 more trains would make an appearance later that night. Norfolk Southern Manifest Manimodal 242, Intermodal 240, and, overnight, Intermodal 281.
He is booking it. Hey, here he is. 242. Yeah, see? Much more light from right here. Double blues? Troll Slayers? Ah, Troll Slayer tag. Yes! Man, I hadn't seen one in so long. All right, this train, oh yeah, he is booking it. This train took forever to leave Inman. We don't know how long he is. We're here to find out. Oh, this is the BNSF one. Wait, what? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Dude, what the heck? There he is. Okay. There's the FEC right there. That was a massive cut. Good grief. Hell, he's more loaded than 240 was.
Right.
Probably had the same amount of cars too, with all that international up front.
Alright, 281, you got a Rudolph on the rear, second the bacon, smoking, green.
Hurt. Woo!
We had a pretty big day coming up ahead of us on Sunday, and Sunday was the day I actually decided to start adding in a sort of Instagram vlog style video clip before each train and after each train, and even sometimes in the downtime. We are done with part 1. I will see you all in part 2. Once again, huge shout out to Nate for getting the amount of trains that I saw correct. He is the only person who guessed that high up, and he is the only person who got it right. So, huge shout out to you. You weren't even a rail fan when we met. I mean, you have really just motivated and encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing, and it was your motivation of constantly saying that you think I'm going to see 50 trains. It was that sentence over and over and over again every day in my head that got me to number 50. So big thank you to you. And for the rest of you, I will see you in part 2. Take care.